Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. So last night, Arsenal beat Ipswich Town 1-0. Kai Havertz onto the score sheet, assisted by Leandro Trossard in a performance that disgusted me, in a performance that I hate to watch. Now, I understand, obviously, we have a couple of games. We have so many games in December. And that's one of the reasons why Mikel Arteta had to make rotations. We have to adjust to Bukayo Saka's absence in the team. And also, most importantly, I think rotating was very, very necessary. Partey getting some rest. I loved that, by the way. Eventually, I was a little bit angry that he didn't start that game. But of course, I understand if you're the manager, you've got to know when to rotate some certain players, especially in which game. So I don't have a problem with Partey not starting, especially Declan Rice starting in the middle of the pack at the center of that midfield, trying to make things happen. And I thought Decas had a good game. However, I have problems and I have concerns. So in this video, I want to dive into the positives of that performance. Obviously, Arsenal now goes second, to Liverpool, 1 point above Chelsea. Is it 1 point or 2 points above Chelsea? I think it's like 1 point above Chelsea. It doesn't really matter. We are back in second, and that really puts us, in a good position, but also it brings back the hope, it brings back the optimism that we were always wanting to have going into the new year. 2025, it's going to be a new year of chasing Liverpool and hunting them down. You want to enter 2025 with a lot of energy, with a lot of drive, and I think going second and putting Chelsea in third, and I think Chelsea, they will drop off. They'll drop off up to fourth. I think City will come around eventually. So I'm not really surprised that Chelsea are already crumbling. Enzo Maresca, the manager, has said they're not in the title race, and I believe him. Chelsea are not yet there. It's between Arsenal and Liverpool this season, unless Man City can wake up early enough. So what did we see in this game? First and foremost, yesterday was about domination. Of course, you expected Arsenal to have a lot of possession. You expected Arsenal to have a lot of, the ball, the lion's share of the ball. And that's what really happened yesterday. We really bowled around. We really passed the ball around. At some stage, we had 280 touches to, I think, Ipswich's like 30 or 40 touches, and that meant that we had locked them in and we had done a very great job. There was just one problem. Yesterday's domination and yesterday's dominance was totally, utterly useless. But that is not the concern for me. The concern is that Arsenal have had so many games this campaign where we have dominated, where we have had possession, where we have had, the ball all the time, and we have failed to use it. It's becoming a recurring theme, right? It's becoming a recurring theme that this team is a useless team in the final third. This team is a toothless team in the box, in the opponent's penalty area. Now, we can talk about player per player. We can talk about general play. It was all absolutely rubbish going forward, and I'm not going to be positive. Yes, we won. Yes, I have to be positive, and I really, really want to be positive. But yesterday, apart from being second and having a lot of ball possession, I think Ipswich were pretty much comfortable. I mean, there were a few chances where Odegaard maybe could have done a little bit better. That's it. Like one or two. They were pretty comfortable. And take off that goal, I think that's a pretty, well-documented 0-0. And I tell you, this is not the Ipswich that played teams like Man United. This was an Ipswich side that came well prepared to give Arsenal the due respect they deserve, and they did it. I didn't see them press as much as they usually press, and they were not really sitting back in this high solid shape trying to make things so difficult for Arsenal. It was just like we were not competent enough. It was just like we were not good enough to go and make things happen in this game. Now, if we go player per player, Martin Odegaard, worst performance we have seen from him. I mean, people might say the Everton game where he missed a couple of chances. That was maybe far worse. Maybe the Fulham game. I don't know. But yesterday, it was rubbish from Martin Odegaard. Like, everyone saw it. Everyone saw it. Is he playing with an injury? Is he uncomfortable? I don't know. And with Saka now being out, it doesn't make things better. It doesn't really make it easier for Odegaard. His touches were bad. He was so sloppy, giving the ball, shooting when he doesn't have to shoot, not shooting when he has to shoot. His shots were weak. I don't know what we're gonna do, right? But we've got to get him back in form. Now with Saka out of the team, you've got to get Odegaard back in form. And I think the team has done a great job by getting him on the ball lots of the time. Whenever he needs to be on the ball, we have actually put him on the ball. The only thing that we have not done is give him a striker that he can actually feed. The way you look at teams like Liverpool, they've got that trio of, Curtis Jones and McAllister and Gravenberch, and then actually 4 players, and then Trent. And then what they've got is a very, very superb front 3 that gives those creative players options. So with Odegaard, I will blame him to a certain degree, because does he really have quality to supply, right? Is our front 3 serviceable? Are our forward attacking players serviceable? I'm sorry, I told you, Gabriel Jesus is a purple patch monster. Like, if you want to understand what Gabriel Jesus is, look at my lights down behind me. Like, a purple patch monster. This guy has gone a full year without scoring, and then he comes and scores 5 goals against a helpless Crystal Palace, and then he disappears. That's Gabriel Jesus for you. I'm not even surprised. Gabriel Martinelli, I think we have to talk about Gabriel Martinelli playing out on the right. It's garbage. It's rubbish. The guy is so uncomfortable. It feels cringe. It feels cringe to me watching the game. It feels uncomfortable to me watching the game. He's playing with his head down. He's trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, playing him on the right-hand side is rubbish. Just don't play him there. Mikel Arteta needs to understand that the best managers in the league, right, have started showing themselves. Enzo Maresca has not spent a season at Chelsea, and yet Jadon Sancho is playing in his rightful position, and so is Caicedo, and so is Lavia, and so is Enzo Fernandez, and so is Noni Madueke, and so is Jackson, and all these players are delivering for Chelsea. Slot is less than a year in at Liverpool, and Salah is back in form, and Luis Diaz is playing in his rightful position, and Nunes and Jota are playing in their rightful positions, and so is Cody Gakpo, and so is Ryan Gravenberch. Why is a guy that has spent 5 years at a fucking club with this fucking squad cannot really understand where his best players, have to play? Gabriel Martinelli has never been a right winger. Like, of all positions, we have always said you can play him down through the middle because he's one of your best finishers alongside Leandro Trossard. Like, if you do not have a striker, if Saka is injured, why don't you put Gabriel Jesus to the right, put Gabriel Martinelli through the middle, if you want to play Kai Havertz as midfielder, and put Trossard on the left, or Trossard on through the middle and Martinelli on the left. Why are we doing self-sabotage? Because yesterday It felt like self-sabotage. Yesterday, Ipswich, did they have a shot on goal? Yeah, they did. I think like one or two. Yesterday, Ipswich was there for the taking. The game was there for the taking. Like, we were there to take 3 points and get a good scoreline. 2, 3, 4. And yet, utter nonsense. Rubbish. Like, really rubbish. Kai Havertz was man of the match. Thank goodness he was in the right position, onside, to tap that in. Trossard, wonderful assist. Lewis Kelly, Angela Timber, and that back line, you are the guys that I only see. You're the only guys that I see. Timber, Lewis Kelly, Deckers, you had a good game. Deckers, you had a good game, right? And that is 100 million. Yeah. Because I don't remember Declan Rice putting a foot wrong yesterday, and I don't also remember Arsenal struggling to progress the ball into advanced areas of the pitch. I don't remember that. What I remember is that when we reached the zone, the Odegaard zone, the Trossard zone, the Kai Havertz zone, things slowed down and our attacks died. So what do we do? I don't know. Martinelli has to stop playing on the right, and this manager, like, you know, there are times when he does things that really get me angry. And then there are times when he does things and I'm like, that's my manager. Like, and of course it's going to happen in sports, right? Sports is very highly emotional. But if you're Mikel, you know where Martinelli's energy and strength is. It's not on the right. Play anyone who can invert there. I would rather see, because when Mikel Merino came in, the game was better. Surprise, surprise. I'm the guy who doesn't really believe that Mikel Merino was the right signing anymore. But surprise, surprise, Mikel Merino was my best player on that evening. He came in and everything looked like Arsenal were really now attacking. So what I want to say eventually is that was a really, really poor performance. We've got to improve. Guys, we've got to improve. We've not played Brentford. And we've got to play the second round. But at the moment, even the first round doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. It really, really doesn't. But anyway, let me know what you thought about the performance. Was your man of the match? It's cringe. The attack is dead. The attack is dead. Maybe that's why we are linked with Matthias Cunha. Maybe. I'll see you right in the next one. Hit that button. Next one, we're talking strikers. We're talking Matthias Cunha. Hopefully you've seen the story. The Athletic, the Telegraph are all reporting that Arsenal interested in Matthias Cunha. I'm coming with that one. I'm coming.